Hey VC, what's up? Wes here, checking in. I wanted to do a quick thread response to JD's record storage thread. This is something we've talked about off and on in the vinyl community, but it's always something that's ever evolving, ever changing, ever improving, hopefully. It's all about how do you store your records, and I'm kind of one of those OCD people where I'm very particular about how things need to be stored and cleaned and sleeved, and everything has to be just so. I think it's a big part of the vinyl hobby is just being able to have that kind of control over how things are done, and your precious is I guess is what they are. So anyway. To start out with, I do sleeve my records. To start out with, I was just using these sort of somewhat cloudy plastic, no flaps sort of sleeves that everybody knows, everybody used to use, or a lot of people used to use. Yeah, I used to buy these from a seller on eBay, Square Deal Recording Supplies, and so a lot of my collection is still in these sleeves. When we'll get to the Blake sleeves next. When I got Blake sleeves, I didn't automatically go through my collection and re-sleeve everything. I'm kind of at the point where usually if I pull something out of the collection and it has one of these older sleeves and I pull it out to listen to, I will exchange it for a Blake sleeve while I'm listening. But also, another thing is I wipe down the outer jacket before it goes into a sleeve. I used to spray Lysol onto a microfiber cloth and clean them that way, but I've been using the Lysol wipes that someone else in the community showed recently. They're more convenient, but they're more expensive. I'm probably still going to keep using the Lysol wipes just because of the convenience. They're a little bit more expensive and a little bit wasteful, and I don't think they do a better job than just spraying Lysol on a microfiber cloth, and I can run the cloth through the laundry after it gets dirty. But I wipe down the outer covers. This one hasn't even had a new inner sleeve in it, so I won't talk about that on this one. But yeah, the outer cover gets wiped down and then it goes into a sleeve, and these days it's a Blake sleeve. So yeah, the Blake sleeves, definitely much better looking. Very clear, and I put the flap on the I try to put the flap on the side that the record comes in and out of, so as I really would rather be able to leave the jacket in the sleeve, so I can leave it right in there and go in here and pull the record out, and it stays in the Blake sleeve and doesn't get oily, greasy handprints all over it. Stays nice and clean. Like I said, I wipe them down before I put them in the sleeves, and try to get the flap to where it's on the end where the record comes out. And then for the inner sleeves, I do re-sleeve my inner sleeves after the records have been cleaned. I have a wet cleaning process that is sort of a manual version of a record cleaning machine. And I put them in these poly sleeves. They're somewhat similar to like a RTI sleeve. They're a little bit thinner. I think these are 3 mil, and the RTI ones are around 3.5 mil. But there's going to be some clear bags sleeves hopefully coming soon that'll be even thicker than these, that are similar. But these are pretty nice. They have a sort of a frosted outer finish, and then the inside is sort of a nice shiny smooth finish, so it's very, very gentle to the records, and there's no dust that's created from these like a paper sleeve where dust comes off. And I really like these sleeves. I might actually continue buying these, depending on what the price of the clear bag sleeves are. It's very likely that I'm going to continue to buy these, as I can buy these at around 9 cents a piece if I buy them 500 at a time. So yeah, after they're clean, they go into one of these, and then I know it's been cleaned and it stays clean, and really all I have to do is wipe it down with a carbon fiber brush before I play, and it's good to go. And there's a few, occasionally you run into an album that just won't fit into a Blake sleeve no matter what, so it gets top loaded into one of those old sort of cloudy plastic sleeves like I always did. This is Bon Iver's self-titled. It won't fit into a Blake sleeve no matter how you turn it. Occasionally a record will fit into a Blake sleeve, but you'll have to turn it. You have to top load it. So this is Earth Angels of Darkness, Demons of Light 2, and the flap is at the top here, just because it won't fit the other way. It's just too thick, but it just fits into this as a top load. So I'd rather have it in a Blake sleeve than one of those cloudy sleeves. So that goes in there. And then the one other question you asked, which is about the why am I thinking? Shrink wrap, and what do you do about that? I don't really have it. My mood changes on what to do about shrink wrap from day to day. Usually, if I have a new album and it's not a gatefold, I'll leave the shrink wrap on if there's a sticker of some kind on it. If it's old and the shrink wrap's starting to fall off, I'll usually take it the rest of the way off, and just that'll give me a chance to sort of wipe down the record and clean it. And I will, if I do take the shrink wrap off something and there is a sticker of some kind, I will cut it out and slide it in with any other materials that are in there. And yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention is that we'll go back to the Stevie Wonder album. After I put it in the new inner sleeve, I always leave the original inner sleeve with the record, just in case if I ever sell it and somebody wants the original inner sleeve. Even if there's no printing on it, I still leave it in there. It doesn't take up any space really, and it just keeps things together and keeps things as original as possible. Okay, so I was editing the video that I shot this morning, and I realized that I missed one of the questions, so I wanted to go ahead and record the answer real quick and drop it in. So the question that I missed was about storing the records outside of the sleeve or inside of outside of the jacket or inside of the jacket. And I do have a theory that I like to share about this, that I think people are getting it wrong, but it's my opinion. If you don't agree, that's your opinion. That's fine. But anyway, some people store records outside of the jacket for reasons of ring wear. And my theory as to what causes ring wear is that as you're sliding the records in and out of a stack, there's friction created on the surface of the record, on the surface of the jacket, and that friction is what's wearing away at the paper and causing ring wear. So people are storing records outside of the jackets because the friction happens most at the points where the high spots on the record are, around the outer rim, where they tend to be a little bit thicker, and near the middle where they tend to be a little bit thicker because of the labels. So that's where the pressure is, so that's where you get the most wear. But my theory is that if you have your records in a sleeve, no matter if it's a Blake sleeve or one of those cloudy sleeves or anything, all the wear is going to happen to the sleeve. So it doesn't matter if the record is inside the jacket or not. You're not going to get any additional ring wear on a record if it's inside of the jacket. So that's kind of a long way around it. I'm kind of against storing records outside of the jacket just because it covers up the artwork, and you have less protection for your vinyl with it being outside. So that's my opinion on it. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get back and finish up this video. So, thanks JD for the thread. Thanks for letting us share some of our OCD tendencies with you. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.